What do you mean? All right, so let's go ahead and start with how we want to combine our stuff. So Troy, again, since this was your idea, why don't you go first? Which combo would you like to start with?
All right. I'll start off with the Journey into Imagination and no, you know what? We're gonna do Monsters Inc. and Tiki Room because that one's my stronger one,
Okay.
start off strong. So basically, if you've never been on Mike and Sully or Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue, there's like the ride vehicle has like a little TV screen on it. And so that would kind of be like the pre-show condensed into like basically like you're going to experience the tiki room, like get ready to be amazed. So the first room that we go into, it would be like the beginning of the show, which is, when the birds wake up and they start singing. And then the next room would be the where like the female bird section is. So there'd be like a water fountain and like the descending of the birds, and there'd be birds like everywhere, or not everywhere, but placed around. And then we get into the flower scene where the like main birds are there like up in the air, but there's a bunch of flowers like on the bottom or more visual um eye level, and they're just all singing, which then leads us to the next room where the gods are upset, they're like angry, and then they eventually get pleased, and then we get to the last room where they all just sing the tiki room as a celebration, and that's
Cute.
my overlay theme.
I think that's cute.
I like
Thank you.
that.
Yeah, it's like not too hardcore into Monsters Inc. It's just really lightly touched. That's cool. Armina, you go.
Okay, so I'll start with Barnstormer and Autopia, just because that is probably the one that I actually, surprisingly enough, it was not difficult for me to think of something, because I was immediately taken to the idea of like what the future looked like when Tomorrowland first opened. So it was like with this kind of like vintage futuristic kind of vibe with like the hover cars. And so that's kind of the concept that I was thinking. It's the same ride track, but with the car concept. So I would put it in Tomorrowland to start with that. And have that negative space be decorated with the iconic things that you see when you're driving through Autopia. So you have like the birds, the cute little signs, all the robots, all of those like little puns that they have here and there in that negative space as you're like rushing by it, to kind of keep with the Autopia feel of it, but it's just the Barnstormers track essentially.
Nice. I do love a good Barnstormer track.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
just
like that idea.
Yeah.
like the idea there. Sky.
Okay. So I did Mission Space and Star Tour. So it's basically I took the idea of instead of going to Mars, we're gonna actually start, and it's gonna be a pilot training on the Death Star.
Ooh.
So what I'm thinking
Oh.
is we're going to board a Star Destroyer, and it's going to be basically flight prep for like the TIE fighters. So you're basically becoming a pilot to fight in the Imperial Academy. So instead of having the 4 people cockpit, it's going to be two to each of the vehicles, and one will be the pilot, and the other will be the gunner or the engineer. And at the end, you will end up blowing up Yavin 4, which is the rebel base, and you'll become a official member of the Imperial Navy. So
Interesting. I like the idea of having something for the dark side, because again, everything like within Galaxy's Edge, like all the Star Wars rides, like are very like pro resistance, which I get,
Mhm.
but also like,
and I don't know,
Gotta
I
have
just
something
feel like
that's for the dark side.
it just feels like Mission Space is more of a darker tone for an attraction. So having it fit with the dark side, I think would really work well for it.
yeah.
That's true. Wait,
Yeah.
isn't for Mission Space, isn't there like a green and an orange?
There's like a green and an orange, depending on your, I guess, sickness level,
Yeah.
or what you're able to take. But yeah.
Like, so for your edification, Troy, and for anyone else who hasn't been to Disney World, the green is like the kiddie version. It does not, like, the vehicles do not spin. They only like move up and down a little bit. On the orange side, they move up and down while they spin, which creates G forces. So you're literally like being pulled down into your seat as if you were actually like blasting off. It's really cool, but it is a little intense.
Mhm.
All right, Madeline, what was your first one?
I'm just gonna get the easy one out of the way. I had the combo of the Alice in Wonderland ride and Enchanted Wish, both of which are dark rides and both of which are the same exact thing.
Yes.
So pretty much, let's just scrap Enchanted Wish, period, because that version in Disney World traumatized the living daylights out of me. And just kind of keep Alice in Wonderland, because I was watching it and I was like, I like that it goes outside. I like the figurines in there much better with the black light paint and things like that. The Snow White stuff I'm not a fan of. Now, I will say I do like the opening of Enchanted Wish, where you're in like this large room that is the dwarf's house. And so I kind of wish there was perhaps something along those lines in Alice in Wonderland where you're like, and maybe there was, and I just didn't pick up on it, where like you start the ride where you're like falling through, like, you know,
you do. You go
like
through
you're
the
like
rabbit
in
hole.
the tree area. Okay, again, maybe I just didn't pick up on that, because again, a YouTube video does not like fully suffice. But honestly, the Snow White thing just I don't know, it never stuck with me. The Disney World version terrified me and to my living core as a child. But the Alice in Wonderland ride actually looked like far superior. So since I don't really exactly know what to do to like combine them, since they follow the same exact ride system and just kind of have similar storylines, I mean, they retell the story. I just decided to keep one and get rid of the other.
I like that.
I broke the rules to make it work for me.
Yeah.
You lost. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. I'm
All right.
a loser. It's
All right,
fine.
Troy.
First of all, I like how different directions we all went in with the descriptions and the whole ride thing itself. But
Yeah.
anyways, I got Journey to Imagination and Roger Rabbit Cartoon Spin.
Oh no.
They're very difficult, but basically, they're in the beginning. It's basically like, oh, we're gonna visit Roger Rabbit in the cartoon world. Oh, I'm doing Journey to Imagination with a Roger Rabbit Cartoon Spin overlay, by the way. So we're just basically essentially going into the cartoon world, and Roger Rabbit is just showing us around where the like I mean, I guess almost in every scene near the end when we transition into a different room, the weasels are there trying to like eliminate him. I haven't seen Roger Rabbit in a while, so I forget what that green stuff is called, but that green stuff, they're trying to like do something like that. And then eventually at the end, we're greeted with all the different characters from the movie, the cartoon versions at least, and like they're just celebrating like Roger Rabbit because he won.
Nice.
That's it. That's
It's
the whole
cute.
thing.
I like that.
Anyways, who wants to go next? Who's
All
ready?
right, Armida, give us your
I think
second
it's
one.
me. Oh, fabulous. All right. So I'm just gonna yeet Frozen right out of that ride system, because we
Good.
all know, well, not everyone knows how I feel about Frozen, but basically how I feel is I'm just gonna yeet that right out of there, because whatever. And so now I'm going to explain why I would enjoy Grand Fiesta Tour, but with the Frozen like ride system. I think that like giving that more of a thrill ride is a bit more immersive and essential to capturing the chaos of the Three Caballeros in the first place. I think that they do, in the original Grand Fiesta Tour, they do a lot of like running around and flying around, but we don't necessarily join them in that, which is why it's more of like, you feel more like chill, because like you're watching the chaos, but you're not actually immersed in the chaos. So I would absolutely keep that same exact storyline and just put that on the Frozen Ever After ride system. So then you get this more like this big adventure kind of vibe through that immersion. And you kind of get a little bit closer to the action as well. And I want updated animatronics. Like ones that actually work would be fantastic. Multiple would be even better. And I just think that like the way that it moves actually fits really well with the idea of, you know, the flying setup that they travel on. And I just think it's a lot more in touch with the story. So I think that maybe if we like put it on that ride system, it'll give us like what we actually deserve from that story.
Yeah, no, I am wholeheartedly a Three Caballeros stan. And I get what you mean about it being chill, because
Mhm.
the ride that was there before the Three Caballeros, which not a lot of people remember, El Rio del Tiempo, was very chill because it was a ride like focused on the history of
Chill.
Mexico. And because it was more focused on the education and the history, it obviously needed to be chill. But then you include this. And I love the idea of having them with, especially with that backwards drop.
Yeah. I feel like if like overlaying Grand Fiesta Tour, like I've always wanted with Coco, is still fits better than Three Caballeros. You're shocked, so I'm gonna let you speak. Madeline.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I had a thought in my head.
It went away?
No, it's
Okay.
still here, but I wanted to wait for you to finish.
I'm done. Go.
Oh my God. You know, okay, so you know how on the Frozen ride system, you go backwards at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
On Grand Fiesta Tour, they have the screen image with the cliff divers.
Yes.
You dive off the cliff backwards with the cliff divers.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Sorry, it like hit me and I was like, I need this in my life so badly. It's not even funny.
Absolutely. Right? I was thinking about this. I'm like, oh, I actually want to do this now.
Oh my God. Disney, if you're listening, let's just yeet Frozen out of here.
Yeet Frozen. I don't want it.
We don't want it.
All right, Sky.
Words
All right,
instead of
so I
animatronics.
had Rock and Roller Coaster and Dinosaur. Boy, those two really work together. So I went with a horror theme, but we're launching straight into the beginning of Dinosaur, where it's the extinction with all the asteroids everywhere. And I really wanted with like high anxiety rock and roll music, kind of to fit the vibe of Aerosmith. And instead of having the ending where you go under the giant dinosaur, basically you're going to go into a giant loop and the T-Rex is going to try to grab the car and attack you as you go by. And I really, really want bright colors for the dinosaurs because it does feel really dark in there and stuff like that. So I really want to brighten it up because I know as well Aerosmith is also super dark. So I want to make it pretty bright and really, really cool. I want to feature both sides equally. I don't want those stupid tacky like signs and stuff like that. But I still do want the guy's voice saying we're not going to make it. We're not going to make it. But it's going to be like mixed in with Aerosmith music. So it's just going to be a whole train wreck. And I'm very excited for this.
Velocicoaster 2.0.
I mean, I'm down.
Basically,
it's gonna have the same pre-show, like the Chris Pratt one, but it's gonna be the same guy with his hand puppets.
it's like
oh my god,
it's like indoor Velocicoaster.
He can be the guy that's like directing Aerosmith. They're gonna be the ones going back in time. Yes, yes.
This is like Aerosmith meets Dinosaur meets Velocicoaster meets Jurassic Park. Like
you're gonna get
dinosaurs.
Instead of having like the exit music with Aerosmith, you're gonna get out. It's gonna be the Jurassic World theme song. It's like da-da.
Might as well, yeah.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, bless.
Okay, Madeline.
Right. Well, mine feels like kind of a letdown after that. I don't even want to go. So I had to combine Casey Junior Train with Storybook Canal, which again are literally intertwined together. So my thought process here is canals are much prettier to look at than train tracks. So if we take the Storybook Canal boats out, but you provide the same narration with Casey Junior Train, and you take some of the elements from Storybook Canal that you don't get to see while you're riding Casey Junior, like for example, when you're going through Storybook Canal and you go through the cave that has the genie lamp where you get the 3 wishes, like putting that somewhere a little bit more visible, with Casey Junior Train, and almost making it this sort of like taking the stuff that you normally wouldn't see with Storybook Canal, putting it on the track and making it like for lack of a better term, it's like a version of like a hidden Mickey search, like find the genie, like, oh, there's Jasmine's castle. Like, can you find like the genie lamp? If you find it, you get 3 wishes, like, something like that. And I would also like to, somewhat like incorporate the canal for a moment. And I'd like to take a page out of Matterhorn's book and take the train track and make it go like through the water at some point. Like you are driving the train like over the canal to get to some point. I'd like to just see a little page from Matterhorn's book on that one. Can we also make the train cars a little bigger? Because the video that I was watching, this like giant man is like crouched down inside the one with the cover. And I'm like, okay, first of all, whoever was seating this poor man obviously did not take this into consideration. But like, I don't know. I just feel like the cars need to be a little bit bigger and a little bit more accommodating for adults. But I just liked the idea of using the train mechanism with the similar ideas from Storybook more than keeping the boats, because there's already the far superior boat ride of It's a Small World.
I really like that, actually.
Thank you. Thank you
I
very
think it's
much.
cool.
Thank you.
It feels kind of more laid back than it originally was. So yeah, it's fun.
And Storybook Canal, I'm not gonna lie, like kind of feels a little kitschy.
It does.
And a little cheesy. Whereas I think like doing it on the train, at least because like the train goes uphill and downhill, like, is a little bit more exciting. And I think if you like up the speed at some points too, it could just be a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Overall, I really enjoyed this. Thank you, Troy, for creating this.
It's a great idea.
Actually, pretty cool idea. I really like how like all of our episodes like are kind of running with attractions lately, and like even though we talk a lot about them, it's never the same thing. It's always like new ideas or something, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, sure.
But with that, is there anything else that you guys want to say before we call it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, no.
Nope.
Yeah.
Honestly, guys, just join the Discord. It is really, really fun, and I am loving it. And it's really cool having. We're all admins on the server, which is cool. So it's like we're all running it. I don't know. I love it. So thank you guys for, everything that you guys do. But as always, Madeline, I'm gonna let you send us out.
As always, he's going to let me do it. All right, cool. So if you could please go leave us a like and a review, we would greatly appreciate your positive feedback.
We're at a 4.0. It's fine.
Sorry. Feeling a little petty today. It's fine. But go leave us a like and review. Tell your friends about us. We'd really love it. And as always, guys, dream a fantastic dream.